All right, there we go on that. All right, let's see here. Looks like we're live on YouTube. Make sure that that's all right. Muted. All right, let's see if we're live on Instagram. She's doing it by herself today. All right, well, I guess we can't see if we're there. All right, we're good to go. Let's change that to Stella. Righty. Got that. That looks good. All right, off she goes. Today I have a iPad, so hopefully I'll be able to read any comments as folks comes in. Adjust my YouTube camera real quick. Looks like it came down 10. Let's see, is that better? Wait. It looks like it might be better. Oh, let's go a little bit higher. Running two cameras is hard, my friends. Running two cameras is difficult. Hello, hello. Sorry, YouTube didn't get on. I made a stick here. Alright. Test that. I'll see if that works. Yeah, it's still too low. Hey, I'll have to do one. Ah, perfect. Great. Now we're good. I'm doing two different cameras today, one on YouTube, one on Instagram, and one on I'm gonna do it one more time. So just do the shot was so perfect before. All right, we're just gonna be nope. For those of you who are just joining, I'm still getting my cameras together for my YouTube side of things. All right, there. I like that. We're gonna keep it. We're not gonna touch it. So welcome to day 4 of doing a Gaza 5K every single day of the month of May, leading up to May 31st for the Gaza 5K here in Washington, D.C. Their goal is to raise $30,000 for mental health services for Palestine refugees in Gaza through the USA Gaza 5K in DC on May 31st. So I'm going live every single night at 7 p.m. Eastern and walking for about an hour and a half or so because I'm 5'1", so it takes a little bit over an hour and a half to slowly walk a 5K, which is 3.1 miles. So if you find yourself wanting a walking partner tonight or every single night leading up to the Gaza 5K in DC on May 31st, know that I'm going to be walking every single day from 7 p.m. to roughly 8:30 p.m. Eastern, raising funds for Palestine refugees in Gaza through UNRWA USA's Gaza 5K. If you haven't done a Gaza 5K before, they are essentially what it sounds like. It's a 5K raising funds for Palestine refugees in Gaza, but specifically they're raising UNRWA USA raising mental health resources. So all the funds go to support psychosocial support for Palestine refugees in Gaza. And they've been doing it since 2012. And the last Gaza 5K in New York raised about $2.1 million for support for Palestine refugees in Gaza. So this year, there's going to be 3 different Gaza 5Ks. There's going to be one in DC on May 31st, a second one in Seattle on August 3rd, which is a Sunday, and a third one in October 12th, Sunday. So DC, Seattle, New York. So if you happen to be in any of those places, you want to support Palestine refugees and get your own mental health steps in, helping the mental health support of others, this is a really great event for you. I'm just improving myself by walking every single night. So though it's both for my mental health by walking, because I sit a lot for my job, it's also obviously a way to raise some mental health resources for Palestinian refugees in Gaza. So with that being said, I am going to be on here for a while, so if you need a doubling buddy, if you're someone like me that has ADHD, this is the time to get your crocheting out, your homework out. You need to do the dishes right now. I'm going to be on here for a little bit, and if you just want to talk, I'm going to log into my TikTok account, my big old head right now, so I can see the comments, because this camera's quite far away. So even though the goal is kind of ambitious with $30,000 in 30 days, obviously it's going for a little bit of the alliteration. I don't know what you call it when it's with numbers. But it's an ambitious goal, and my theory is that, shoot for the moon, land amongst the stars kind of thing. Right now, I was going to say I only raised $300, but it's $300. So at the end of the day, every penny counts, every dollar counts. And 300 is still more than what we had before, It's not going live on my Instagram. Oh, I gotta press the button. Hang on. There. Pause with me. I turn on my Instagram. Oopsie daisy. I don't know if you've all ever used like StreamYard before. There we go. Make that public. Next. Okay. Boop. Sorry about that, y'all. All right. Back at it. We're back on the horse. And moving my tab so that I can see. All right, great. I've never live streamed to multiple platforms, so bear with me. This is all new. All right. I use my iPad to also look at the. I want to try to see on my iPad and watch my own live stream on here, but I'm curious if I can even do that. Because right now, if there is any comments, like 3 people watching, there could be 5 people watching, 3 people watching, who knows? But I want to be able to while I'm live. I created this overlay graphic for TikTok, and I use StreamYard, which allows for Meta, so Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, what have you. But for some reason, TikTok has yet to be used, which is unfortunate. Because it'd be super great to be able to use the camera. I have a webcam that's right above my phone right now. It'd be super great if I'd be able to just use that instead of doing this 2 camera system right now. It's kind of janky, but it's okay. Well, I guess you can't look at it from your laptop or your iPad, unfortunately. I will continue. But for those who are watching, I see some hearts, so there's some love, even though I can't see the comments or see how many of y'all are watching. I'm doing a 5K every single night, leading up to May 31st for the 100 DC Gaza 5K here in Washington, D.C. to raise money for mental health services to Palestine refugees in Gaza, and it's run by UNRWA USA. And they've been doing the Gaza 5K since 2012, so very long time now. They do about 3 a year, and even during COVID, they did a virtual Gaza 5K, which was able to raise a lot of funds, even while we were all under lockdown. So if you're not in DC, if you're not in Seattle, if you're not in, where's the other one? New York, you can still do these events virtually. There's always a lot of people that kind of just run their own 5K and they create a team. So this right here, if you scan this QR code, you can join my team. I called it 30 for 30, so $30,000 in 30 days. Once again, ambitious goal, sure. I very much trying to shoot for the moon and land among the stars for the energy. Because you never know. You could have, I had a live stream that, had 5 people. I'm sure that there's only a handful of folks on right now. And I've had live streams where there's about 4,000 people on. And you know that one live stream with 5 people could have someone that donates $50, but that 4,000 live stream could have just a couple of people that donate $1 or nothing. And at the end of the day, I'm not doing it for views. I'm not doing it for anything other than to keep myself accountable and not only prepare myself for the 5K, but also just to raise awareness and be in community with people as I'm walking the 5K right now. Let's check out Instagram. I wish you guys weren't so far away. Today in DC, it is quite humid out today. Like many in Washington, DC, who we don't really have central area. Expand box AC. So, though the sun is setting, it's a beautiful shot behind me. You have to be in practice of the actual weather the day of. And I'm struggling to be able to look at the comments. You'll log in with a different. Weird. So my iPad, I can't look at the comments unless I probably have to log out and look at it from someone else's perspective. But that's okay. We're all learning here. So the last Gaza 5K that I went to was in Dallas, Texas, and Montez Azaiza was there. It was a huge deal. It was very, very powerful event. DC was there. He sang one of his new songs, and there ended up being 2,000 people that ended up doing the Gaza 5K. It was absolutely incredible. This one, I met these 2 people, and they were acting like they had met each other for or known each other for pretty long time. And so I was like, oh, how long have you guys been friends? And they said, we met in New York Gaza 5K. And we literally decided to fly down to the Dallas Gaza 5K just because they met at the Gaza 5K. And anyway, it seems like sparks were flying there. So what a cool experience to see that you met someone at a Gaza 5K. You know? And that's not the first time. That was my first Gaza 5K, but apparently that's not the first time that people couple up at this event. Because, you know, when you're around people that are very much in community with you, and obviously, you know, in the United States, there's really not a lot of third spaces that hang out with people. So events like the Gaza 5K is a really great space outside of these protesting spaces because, you know, you're just existing. You know, being at a Gaza 5K, you walk, run, you know, whether you're walking, running, volunteering, what have you. There is a lot of volunteer opportunities. So if you're in Washington, D.C., I volunteered before. You should definitely check it out. A way to be in community with each other. But, you know, not only are you walking, running, what have you, you're doing the 5K itself, but afterwards, you know, there's music, there's debka, there's Palestinian food, and it's just like really nice to be in a space when right now it feels really hopeless and it gets pretty dark out there. It's nice to be at events like this where you're in community with people and it doesn't even feel like people are strangers, you know, it just feels like you've known all these people your whole entire life. What's really interesting for me is I live in Washington, D.C., so the last Gaza 5K, I did live in Dallas, but it's going to be interesting because, you know, I hope that I'll see people I know there. But then, you know, you run into people and you're like, oh my gosh, like this guy literally goes to my grocery store. I've seen him all the time. I didn't know he was, you know, fighting for Palestinian rights or Palestinian refugees and supporting them. So it's another great way just to be in community with people that you maybe didn't even know you're already in community with. All right. Well, tomorrow I'll try to figure out how I can. I really like the camera setup I have for YouTube, but alas, I just wish I could see it. So when was the first time? You know, maybe I'll like squint. Um, maybe I'll bring my tripod closer. Do. No, can't even look at it on your computer either. That's unfortunate. Oh wait, hang on. I think I can do it on my laptop. Come on, laptop. Oh, this is so weird. Okay, here we go. Yes, I think I figured it out. Great. I have. Oh man, that delay is weird. All right, comments are visible now, and my hair is disheveled, and that's okay. So today's only day four. Day four, doing it for the next 30 days, but technically it's the next 15 days or so. 25 days or so. Got my math real wrong there. But I'm going live every single night at 7 p.m. Eastern, about to 8:30 p.m. Eastern. It takes me to slowly walk a 5K, which is 3.1 miles, and 5.1. It takes a little bit longer. But also I've learned through the previous 5K live streams that I've done so far is, slower, and being able to talk is better than anything else. So that's where it's at. And I'm doing it to help raise $30,000 in 30 days, so 30 for 30. So you can join my Gaza 5K team. And this is for the Honor USA Gaza 5K, Washington, D.C. on May 31st. So if you're in the D.C. area, if you're in Maryland, if you're in Virginia, or if you want to fly here and do the Gaza 5K, or if you want to do it virtually, this is the event for you. 10 out of 10 recommend if you haven't been to a Gaza 5K before. Very much a great community building event. And yeah, people are just lovely. This event I feel like has the nicest people I've ever met my entire life. I'm volunteering this year. Very, very, very excited to be joining. We've been walking for 0.5 so far, so we're just getting into the journey. Well, where are you guys watching from? The friend of Wilson is a friend of mine. That's it. I will say, I'm so used to doing like an audiobook or podcast, or I hardly ever watch TV when I run because I'm all off the treadmill. But I have been enjoying the conversations on the different platforms. With the setup I have today, because every single day I've had a different setup to try to figure out what works best for someone that's not in a studio with multiple different screens and all that jazz. But today, oh, thank you. Appreciate the roses. Never thought I'd be that person that would say, thank you for the roses. But very thankful for the roses. Yesterday, I think that my live stream helped bring in about $50, and that's $50 more than what the Gaza 5K had yesterday. So everybody counts, every dollar counts. If you're not someone that has the financial resources, share this video with some friends or family. If you have friends in the DC area, in Maryland or Virginia, talk to them about the Gaza 5K. You can go to Gaza5K.org to sign up for the race. You can log it, you can run it, you can volunteer at it, or you can just show up. Join the DEPCA line, eat some Palestinian food, be in community with one another, and just have a good time while raising funds for mental health resources for Palestine refugees in Gaza. I gotta make sure I gotta breathe while walking. Does anyone here ever watch? There was this Malcolm in the Middle episode. I don't know how old anyone is on this call, or live stream. There was this Malcolm in the Middle episode where Hal, the dad, got really into power walking, and he bought this huge helmet. And he was like an Olympic power walker. So right now, I think I have about $325 raised thus far. As I've said earlier, if folks were on the call, my goal is to raise $30,000 in 30 days, leading up to the Honor USA DC Gaza 5K on May 31st in Washington, D.C. So though the goal may be a little ambitious, I'd rather shoot for the moon and land amongst the stars. And whether that's I raise, if I don't even raise anymore past the 325, that's still $325 more than was given before then. So I'm trying to have the mindset of, which is true. It's not trying to have the mindset of, but it is true that every penny counts, every dollar counts, every like counts on the live stream. Helps push it out to people, share it with your friends and family. If you want to do a virtual Gaza 5K and start your own team, you can go scan this QR code right there or go to Gaza5K.org. There's going to be one in Seattle, the next one. So the next one is DC on May 31st. The one after that is in Seattle on August 3rd, which is a Sunday. And then the one after that is New York on Sunday, October 12th. So there's 3 different opportunities. DC, May 31st, Seattle, August 3rd, which is a Sunday, and then October 12th, which is also a Sunday in New York. So multiple different times to come out and support Palestine refugees while getting your mental health steps in. Kind of ironic, you're doing your mental health steps to fundraise for the mental health services for Palestinian refugees. Chicago, we did do one in Chicago. I think Under USA had one twice now, I think, in Chicago, but not this year. Maybe next year. There is an event coming up. Under USA is having an event come up, I think in June in Chicago, but I know that they do a lot of Midwest stuff there. I'm from Wisconsin, so I try to do events in Chicago and Milwaukee whenever I can. But yeah, so if you've never done a Gaza 5K, it's usually about 2,000 people come out, all very lovely, hyped people, loving hearts for Palestine. And they come out, do a 5K, and if you don't know, a 5K is 3.1 miles. So you can walk it, you can run it, you can volunteer at it, and maybe not walk or run it, or you can just, sign up, fundraise, start your own team, make some goals, and don't walk or run it. Just sit there and be a community because, it's whatever you're able to do. If you want to start a team with your family, if you want to start a team with your ex-girlfriend, if you want to start a team with a barista you've been flirting with, if you want to start a team with your Girl Scout troop, if you want to start a team with your Buy Nothing group from Facebook, whatever you want to do, this is the event to sign up and be in community with people. I can't stress this enough that, not only are you doing good for yourself by getting out of the house, because God knows that's so hard to be doing right now. You're getting out of the house, you're getting your steps in, you're meeting like-minded people, and all of this at the same time is raising funds for mental health services for Palestine refugees in Gaza through Unread USA. So you can go to Gaza5k.org and sign up there. It's super easy. Once again, Gaza5k.org. Check out all their cool videos and photos and get to learn more about the event other than some random gal doing a live stream walking on her treadmill. But yeah, super, super great event. There's different fundraising opportunities. So if you fundraise individually and you raise $100, you get a t-shirt. If you raise $250, you get a Unread USA t-shirt, Gaza 5K t-shirt, and a tote bag. If you raise, I think, $500, you get the Gaza 5K sweater, the t-shirt, and the tote bag, and much, much more that just goes up levels like that. But once again, really great way to raise money for Palestine refugees, and specifically focusing on mental health services and psychosocial support. Some water. I feel like I should have a cheat sheet for TikToks. Thank you for the love. Appreciate that. I feel like I should have like a cheat sheet for like what the gifts mean. Usually I go live at rallies and whatnot so that, a lot of news stations don't show rallies, so I'll go live. Yeah. Hey, Dwamir, since you're on the call, could you see if I'm live on Instagram as well? Because all I see is YouTube and TikTok. Raise money for Palestine refugees, but me one step at a time. Awkwardly online, watching movie as a buffer to free. I can't run. I'm so sorry. My entertainment skills are at a high, all-time low. All-time low? Isn't that? Where are people watching from? Who are we watching from? How did people learn about Palestine? What brought you to Palestine? Get a haircut. What brought me to, I knew about Palestine to a certain extent, but not to the extent that I know now. And definitely my awakening for me was seeing what Gaza's the Palestinian journalist on the ground in Gaza, seeing all of his photos in real time was truly, there's no looking back from that. You can't learn new information like that and just look away. So he was definitely the catalyst for my knowledge about Palestine and my catalyst for me to do more and step up, which is how I went to the first Gaza 5K. And then going there, I didn't know that Motaz Aziza was at the event. So I got to meet him. And now I work at UNRWA USA. And it's just been truly a life-changing moment. And I hope more people that maybe weren't woken up to Palestine or maybe haven't been speaking out for Palestine refugees are waking up now. You can't ignore once you've seen what's happening on the ground there. And I know it feels hopeless right now, but we can't lose hope here. We as Americans have our duty is to help Palestine refugees and to speak out, to speak to our elected officials and tell them that this is wrong. So if you're like me and you're trying to find ways to not feel hopeless or to feel, that you are making a difference, I definitely recommend going to the Gaza 5K in Washington, D.C. on May 31st. Not only is there different ways to advocate for different bills while you're there, and you can do that outside of the Gaza 5K in general, but you are literally helping raise mental health services, raising funds to support mental health services and psychosocial support for Palestine refugees in Gaza in real time through UNRWA USA's Gaza 5K. Their goal this year is to raise $500,000 at the Gaza 5K. I think we're already a little over, I think they're over 125,000, and we're not even halfway to the event here. It's going to be on May 31st. Let's see where they're at. But in the meantime, while I'm looking this up, if you want to join my team, this is QR code goes to my team's page. And once again, I'm trying to raise $30,000 in 30 days. I know I'm definitely shooting for the moon, but very much trying to land amongst the stars. At the end of the day, if I don't raise any more than what I've already raised, which is $325, it's still $325 more than I was able to get previously. All right, let's see how they're doing. Okay, so their goal, as I mentioned, is $500,000. Now that's $500,000 by the day of the Gaza 5K, which is on May 31st. But it is May 4th. May the 4th be with you. So it's May 4th, and they already raised $159,000 already. So that's pretty great. And definitely not even close to halfway point of, on the 15th. So hopefully by the 15th, they're more than halfway done with their goal. They're closer to their goal, to the $500,000. But by you just even watching this live stream is helping UNRWA USA get to that $500,000 mark, so they can help Palestine refugees in Gaza with mental health and psychosocial support. Because at the end of the day, even though aid has been blocked for 2 months, over 2 months at this point, into Gaza, into the West Bank, into East Jerusalem, you can still get psychosocial support and mental health resources in Gaza just through talking, being in community with one another, and having those counselors able to continue to do the work that they do. One of the things that I think of when I think of UNRWA, for example, is They do a bunch of psychosocial support with the children. A lot of the funds of this $500,000 goes to support Palestine refugee children in Gaza and their mental health support and psychosocial support. You might think of UNRWA, think of all these clips that DC Gaza shared, where it's this colorful parachute, if you remember, all the 90 kids out there. I don't know, like, do the kids still do this now? I'm not quite sure. But this beautiful, colorful parachute, and then the kids run underneath and then bring it down. And then you sit on it, and it's just this beautiful, like, dome. And, you know, that small moment may seem very minuscule, maybe in the grand scheme of things. But for the children of Gaza, that small moment makes them be a kid for a hot second and forgets about being displaced and bombed. And that's the money that you're donating and you're fundraising for helps fund is those types of psychosocial support and mental health resources for Palestine refugees in Gaza. All right. So send this live stream to your friend who's just crocheting tonight. Send this live stream to your mom that wants to learn more about Palestine refugees. If you're washing dishes, keep this live stream on. Whatever way you're able to get it done, whether it's financially or through your viewership or through you sharing it or you joining my team right here, the QR code, every little bit helps. Every penny helps. Every dollar helps. I donated myself, but once again, DC's Gaza 5K is going to be on May 31st. Seattle's Gaza 5K is going to be on Sunday, August 3rd. And New York's Gaza 5K is going to be on Sunday, October 12th. So 3 different opportunities to get involved, to volunteer, to fundraise, to start your own team. And of course, if you're someone that's competitive like me, to run or walk or do whatever you need to do to get those medals. But I'm pretty sure that in the medals this year, I've seen pictures. They're beautiful. Definitely something to put up on your wall. And like I said earlier, some people met their partners and their best friends at these events, and they continue to be in community with one another. All right, let's see how many. All right, we're at exactly a mile. We got 2.1 miles left to go. We're walking slow tonight because it's Sunday and I got time. So why not? Should I put my hair up before this so I'm not sweating? Yeah, maybe, probably a little bit. Could I do it still right now? I don't really want to. I feel like that would look really weird with my hair up at this point because it wouldn't match everything else. Maybe it's me being a little bit insecure. What's everyone's sign? How we doing? How we doing? Appreciate you all watching. And this event is very much a family-friendly event. There's music, there's debka, there's Palestinian food. It's a really good time. Once again, there's about 2,000 people. And this year I forgot to say, this year is taking place in Rock Creek Park, which is one of the most beautiful parks in Washington, D.C. When I moved from the Midwest to Washington, D.C. back in 2018, I was really worried that there wasn't going to be a lot of like natural habitat, like waterfalls, lakes, rivers, hiking places, whatnot. And so when I moved here in 2018, I was really shocked that there was a bunch of places where there's waterfalls and hiking and creeks and rivers and whatnot. So thanks for the words. That's really sweet. I appreciate that. So when I came here, that was Rock Creek Park, and to find out that this year the Gaza 5K is taking place at Rock Creek Park, very exciting. Super cool stuff. But yeah, so it's going to take place in Rock Creek Park. There's going to be about 2,000 people. Beautiful medals this year, beautiful T-shirts. I'll be sure to share that If you haven't checked them out already, you can go to Gaza5K.org to check those out. Yeah, what am I missing? What do people want to know? What do people want to know? Anyone have any questions? Gaza 5K? 5K, for those who are not runners walkers, is 3.1 miles, which is what I'm walking right now. We'll be doing a 5K leading up to the Gaza 5K on May 31st. I'm going to be doing it every single night at 7 p.m. So walking 5K, walking 3.1 miles, and because I'm short and going very slow, which is fine. It's going to take about an hour and a half, so got time to chill. We're chilling. We're chilling out. The whole goal of the live streams is, one, keeps myself accountable because I said I was going to go live every single night at 7 p.m. What are the raised funds donations being used for? Great question. So all of the funds, the $500,000 is the goal this year for the UNRWA USA Gaza 5K, but all of those funds are being put to mental health services and social support for Palestine refugees in Gaza. And at the end of the day, even when aid is being blocked, healthcare or mental health services and psychosocial support can be blocked because that's word of mouth. And a lot of that is things as simple as, for example, during Ramadan this year, those funds from previous Gaza 5Ks helped get a lot of people to these mental, social, and psychosocial support services. And a lot of kids created lanterns for Ramadan with these pieces of paper. And it may seem very minuscule, but at the end of the day, that small light, the little paper lantern for Ramadan, amidst the rubble, brought the kids literally the light of their day today, of that day. So, super small example, but all of the funds go towards mental health services and psychosocial support through this fundraiser. Once again, it's going to happen in DC on May 31st, in Seattle on August 3rd, which is a Sunday, and in New York on October 12th, which is also a Sunday. So DC, Seattle, New York, if you're in any of those places, join the Gaza 5K in person, or you can do a virtual Gaza 5K with your family, with your friends, with your Facebook Buy Nothing group. You can do it however which way you want. I don't know if anyone uses Facebook anymore. The only reason I have Facebook still is the Buy Nothing group that I have. All right, I need to drink some water. Give me some more questions, y'all. What do you got? I feel like this would be a good time to practice the catwalk. Do people actually walk like that? Do people walk like this? Like naturally without thinking about it? Doing a live stream with people would give me absolute anxiety. So Gaza 5K, how long has it been going on? It's been going on since 2012 through UNRWA USA, and UNRWA USA is the American side nonprofit that fundraises all of their funds and resources and donations they get. They send to UNRWA, which stands for the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine refugees in the Near East. Big name, but essentially they're the biggest humanitarian organization on the ground in Gaza. And UNRWA USA raises funds through American donors and sends it to UNRWA. So UNRWA USA is not just a place that fundraises, sends money to UNRWA, but also does a lot of advocacy work and awareness. And their whole slogan is showing Palestine refugees that Americans care. So a really important organization. If you haven't checked them out before, be sure to follow them on Instagram, YouTube, all the pages, TikTok, and at UNRWA USA, so UNRWA USA. That's on all their channels. Whew. Oh man, sweaty. How are we doing? So for folks who are just joining, my whole goal of doing this live stream, for doing this walk, is that I'm looking to raise $30,000 in the next 30 days for Palestine refugees. For Palestine refugees in the Near East, and all of the money will go to support mental health services for Palestine refugees in Gaza through UNRWA USA's Gaza 5K. It's a great way to get back to the community while being in community with one another. And at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. So is it a little ambitious? Sure, but I'm very much trying to shoot for the moon and land amongst the stars kind of energy. All right, how far are we right now? Almost at 1.5, and a 5K is 3.1 miles. The last Gaza 5K that I went to was in Dallas, and I met two random people there that ended up becoming best friends, and they ended up going to the New York Gaza 5K together the previous year. So really cool stuff. Great way to once again be in community with one another. There's also great fundraising perks if you fundraise. So, for example, if you scan this QR code, you can join my fundraiser, start your own fundraiser. But if you fundraise $100, for example, you get the Gaza 5K T-shirt. If you fundraise $250, you get the tote bag and the T-shirt. If you fundraise $500, you get the sweatshirt, the T-shirt, and the tote bag, and the list goes on and on. So not only are you helping fundraise for a really great organization, and when aid is being blocked for the past 2 months, mental health services and psychosocial support isn't being blocked. So this is the event for you, Gaza5K.org. Check it out. It's on May 31st in DC, Sunday, August 3rd in Seattle, and Sunday, October 12th in New York. 3 different opportunities, and if you can't do either of those events, just know that you can always do it virtually. I understand why people, when they sing for your events, you always sing on the treadmill. This is, I feel like, a really good speaking practice, just to get on the treadmill and talk. Whew. All right. Got 1.3 left, or 1.5 left. Sorry about that. So you can join my team here, or you can start your own team at Gaza5K.org. Whatever fancies your feast. There's no right or wrong way to fundraise. If you want to do your own individual fundraiser, join someone else's, or just stay on the live stream and like it, whatever, it's up to you. I feel like I hardly ever walk on the treadmill these days. I always walk outside. And it feels like it goes a lot longer when it's on a treadmill. Am I wrong? I just feel like I walk about 4 miles in the morning, and I feel like that goes a lot faster when you're outside. Maybe it's because it's the natural pushing of your feet. And it's also not in a very tiny room in a row house that's like 105 years old. All right. So as you can imagine, the children of Gaza, the people of Gaza, Palestine refugees throughout the Palestinian territory are constantly living with mental health under distress, with the occupation, with the bombardment. And the Gaza 5K is a great way to get back to help in real time when it feels like everything is hopeless. This is how you can get back in, once again, real time, but also real helping, like helping on the ground. And through that, through the Gaza 5K, we're raising funds for health services and psychosocial support, and all the support services, the counselors, are Palestinian refugees themselves that are in the occupied um, uh, blockade areas. So even when aid is being blocked, those counselors are still on the ground, giving those mental services and psychosocial support because they're part of the community as well. That's what's so beneficial with UNRWA USA and UNRWA is that most of the workers of UNRWA are Palestinian refugees themselves that grew up or are from Gaza, and that's why it works so well because it's all in community with each other. Ah, nice. Looking to see you there. I feel like we need to have some more DC folks. Anyone from the Maryland or Virginia area? When was the last time that anyone did a 5K? It's been a minute for me, but I think other than the last Gaza 5K, which was in Dallas back in September, late September, I think. I used to be a runner in high school, but I haven't done that. I'm 31, I haven't done that in years. But I will run and I will walk for Gaza. So join me every night, 7 p.m. Eastern to 8:30 p.m. Eastern, to prep for the Gaza 5K. Whether you're someone that needs accountability, to join in every night at 7 p.m. Eastern to walk a 5K or to run it, just know that I'm going to be here and be your double. I'm going to get this accountable, even if my steps are really slow because I'm 5'1". We're going to be doing this together. There's always really great depka. There's music. There's a bunch of Palestinian food and cuisine. So just know that after the Gaza 5K is done itself, there's still events that happen afterwards. And that was the first time I've ever done depka before, and my ankles hurt for like a week afterwards. It was a good feeling though. Really hard to dance. All right, what else people got going on? Let's switch my screen really quick. There we go. It's my first time trying to do multiple different streams from one camera, but TikTok is not connected to StreamYard, so I had to do it independently. That's okay. So I'm walking 5K every single night at 7 p.m. Eastern to help raise funds for the Gaza 5K in Washington, D.C. through UNRWA USA's Gaza 5K on May 31st. So if you're in the D.C. area on May 31st, sign up for the Gaza 5K. It's an amazing event. There's about 2,000 people. They're all coming out to support mental health services for Palestine refugees. And it's a great way to meet your neighbor and be in community with one another that maybe you just kind of didn't know that someone was out there supporting Palestine refugees. So this is a great way to do that. For me, knowing that there's not a lot of third spaces in the United States, these events are my third space, and definitely a great way to be in community and folks that maybe you haven't connected with before, or rekindle a friendship that you just haven't done, because we're all feeling a little hopeless right now. And this is a great way to spark that hope back in you and distill that idea that we need to get our feet on the ground for Gaza and continue to be active, not more than ever. I know that phrase, but you won't use it again. But right now, they need our help, they need our support, and we need to continue to show up for Palestine refugees, and to show that we are actually a great slogan, which is the USA's slogan, is showing Palestine refugees that Americans care. So as Americans, at least me, I am speaking out and saying, I care as an American. I care about Palestine refugees and I care about Palestine. And a great way to do it is to help fundraise Gaza 5K to support psychosocial support and mental health services in Gaza through the UNRWA USA 5K. Lots of words. But thanks for listening. All right, we got a half an hour left. How are we feeling? I'm feeling like I should put my hair up. It's got thick hair. And it's hot. Old home. 104-year-old row house in DC. I definitely miss Midwest Central air for sure. Oh, my phone's died before this ends. So if you're in the Washington, D.C. area, again, the Gaza 5K is going to take place on May 31st. The Seattle Gaza 5K is going to be on Sunday, August 3rd. And the New York Gaza 5K is going to be on October 12th, which is also Sunday. So Seattle, or D.C., Seattle, New York, 3 different great opportunities. Is this for real? It is for real. Gaza 5K. Gaza5K.org. Check it out. What else? What else can I tell you? The goal for this year's Gaza 5K in Washington, D.C. is to help raise $500,000 for mental services and mental health support, psychosocial support through counselors on the ground in Gaza for Palestine refugees. That $500,000, right now I think they have raised a little over $120,000, close to that, I believe. So we're getting there. The date is on May 31st, and today is May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. So we are getting close. Every penny counts, every dollar counts. You're able to watch the stream. That's still something. If you're able to like the stream, that's amazing. If you're able to share the stream, or if you want to join my team, that'd be great. Join your own team, start your own team, create a team with your family, with your friends. Go to Gaza5K.org. Got about a half hour left. Almost at 2. Maybe tomorrow I'll play some music on. So I'm going to be going live at 7 p.m. Eastern every single night leading up to the Gaza 5K in Washington, D.C. on May 31st. So if you want to join me every night at 7 p.m. Eastern till about 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, I'm going to be doing a 5K every night. 5K every night. looking to raise $30,000 in 30 days. Right now, I think I'm at $325, $23. So that's still more money than we had a couple days ago. So every penny counts, every dollar counts. So my goal will be a little ambitious. I'm shooting for the moon and landing amongst the stars kind of energy. More about the alliteration than anything else. I have some matching donors for the next couple weeks, but I'll keep that on the DL for now. Really excited about that. Nope, not pre-recorded. Although I am on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, so I'm struggling to look at all the screens to look at comments, but every now and then I'm able to look. What was your question? Three miles for Gaza, yep. Mm. And just as a friendly reminder for the people that are new to the stream, whether you're on Instagram or YouTube or TikTok, we're all about love here. Gaza 5K, the goal of it is to raise mental health services for Palestine refugees in Gaza. So at the end of the day, know that we're all about love. We're all about raising mental health support services. And God knows the children of Gaza need it now more than ever. So if you happen to see any trolls in the comments or people that are not expressing love and support, just know that we're not going to engage with them and we're just going to let it be. So Unreal USA actually started their first Gaza 5K back in 2012. So they've been organizing this amazing event for a pretty good chunk of time at this point. And I think they do about 3 a year or so. Last year was DC, New York, Dallas. This year it's DC, Seattle, New York. So not every year it's New York from DC, but they do it quite frequently, especially since there's so much activity, activism and community engagement in New York and in DC. All right, what do we have? 2 miles. 1 mile left. Oh, hang on. Every now and then, TikTok asks you if you're a robot. I think that's really interesting right now, especially with robotics and stuff happening that for years we could always joke about the fact that you would have to even admit that you're not a robot. And now it feels weird. So like, at what point does AI figure out how to go around that? All right, for those of you who are just joining, my name's Alex. I'm walking a 5K every night leading up to May 31st for the Gaza 5K happening in Washington, D.C. My goal is to raise money for virtual services for Palestinian refugees in Gaza through the Gaza 5K that they're having in Washington, D.C. on May 31st. So if you're in the Washington, D.C. area, go to gaza5k.org to sign up for this amazing event and start your own fundraiser, start your own team, and help fundraise for mental health services and psychosocial support for Palestinian refugees in Gaza. It's longer. Wow, that hour went by quickly. So there's going to be a Gaza 5K in Washington, D.C. on May 31st, another one in Seattle on August 3rd, which is a Sunday, so August 3rd in Seattle. And then the third and last one is going to be in New York on October 12th, which is also a Sunday. So if you're in either of those, what is the event? The Gaza 5K. It's a 5K, and all of the proceeds go to mental health services and psychosocial support for Palestine refugees in Gaza. It's through Unborn USA. So Flash, if you're near your laptop or you got your phone, obviously, go to gaza5k.org if you want to learn a little bit more. This 5K has been going on since 2012, so this is by no means a new event. So it's a huge staple in a lot of communities. New York and DC usually have one every single year. Last year, the New York Gaza 5K raised $2.1 million for mental health services and psychosocial support for Palestinian refugees. Am I hey, Adam? I'm going to be walking it because I'm struggling doing this 5K every single night. Hey, Adam, if you ever want to join as a guest, I've been doing it where today I'm doing it on StreamYard, but yesterday Hanny joined in, and I'm doing it every single night, doing the live stream, walking the 5K every night at 7 p.m. Eastern to about 8:30. That's usually how long it takes me to walk it on this level of equipment. But Adam, would love to have you on an interview, do a cut down video for you. Yeah, every single day the rest of May. So the Gaza 5K is on May 31st. So I have this QR code right here, and that's how folks can join my team. Either join my team to help fundraise or start your own team. Just donate, maybe become a volunteer, what have you. But if you want to join my team, you can scan the QR code. But I'm looking to fundraise on these live streams because I thought to myself, I'm already going to be walking about 5K every night leading up to the 5K. Might as well go live and raise some money while doing it. Oh, and Philly, that one's not too far away. Philly's not too far, right? That's like a 2-hour train ride. That's not too bad. Have you been to DC recently? Yeah, I was just in Philly. One of my friends lives in Philly, and she takes the train all the time. Yeah, you should come on May 31st. Sign up at the Sign up at the Gaza5K.org. I think I have 2 friends in Philly that are coming down for the 5K, so you should come on down too. Have you taken the Amtrak before? Yeah, for sure. Now, you can either scan this QR code, but they'll bring you to like the Teams page. But if you go to Gaza5K.org and you don't necessarily commit to signing up or anything, Gaza5K.org, not spelled out 5, but the number 5, Gaza5K.org. That will give you all the information that you need. I don't know if you were on when I was talking about this earlier, but the last Gaza 5K I was at, there was 2 people that met at the Gaza 5K and they ended up dating. I'm pretty sure they're going to get married. It was really cute. There was also this DC running group. It's called Yalla Run Troop or Run Club, and really excited to see that running group come. I think they're going to bring like the whole entire group. Yeah, really cool stuff. And then there's like a bunch of DEFCA groups that are going to be performing, maybe running as well. What else? There's Palestinian food and music and dance. There may be a special musician plays, maybe not. I'm not sure. Sometimes they do. You have any other questions about it? Otherwise, I'll just keep riddling off for other information. But yeah, if you're in Washington, D.C. on May 31st, sign up for the Gaza 5K. You can go to Gaza5K.org to sign up. Seattle is going to have one as well. That's going to be August 3rd, which is a Sunday. So Seattle, August 3rd, Sunday. And then the third one of the year is going to be in New York, which is going to be on October 12th, which is also a Sunday. This year, the Gaza 5K is going to take place in DC Gaza 5K is going to take place on May 31st at the Rock Creek Park. And if you haven't been to Rock Creek Park, as someone that did grow up in DC, when I first moved here like 8 years ago, I was shocked to see the amount of greenery and rivers and waterfalls and hiking spots in DC. Because at that point, whenever I thought of Washington DC, I only thought of the National Mall because I was naive. So really excited to have the Gaza 5K at Rock Creek Park this year. But there's always, when I drive home, I have to drive through Rock Creek Park, and there's always a bunch of deer and foxes and stuff. Really, really big park. If you haven't been, I recommend hiking there the next time you're in DC. All right, what do we got? All right, we got less than a mile left. Pretty good time. Usually I wrap up at about 8:30, about 6 Eastern right now. So whether you're donating, you're able to financially donate by scanning the QR code for the Gaza 5K, awesome. If you're able to share the live stream out, which I saw in the flash you did, very much appreciate that. Or if you're able to like so many people are liking right now, whatever you're able to do, or give a gift on TikTok, or volunteer at the Gaza 5K. I'm just looking to let folks know that the 5K exists. It's on May 31st in Washington, D.C. And it would really poopy if you lived in Washington, D.C. and read about it the next day and thought, I wish I knew about that event. If they ran out of registration, I think they're at halfway done already. So be sure to just raise $10,000. So I think that the goal this year for the Gaza 5K in DC is $500,000. And once again, all that money is going to fund psychosocial support and mental health resources for Palestine refugees in Gaza. And I think they're at a little over 129,000. Let's check that. I think 129,000 raised so far, which is pretty good because it's only May 4th. Checking how much has been raised so far. Sorry for my breathy voice right now. This is why I'm walking the 5K, not only, to raise awareness, but also for my mental health. God knows I don't go out and get my steps in. All right, they're at $159,000. It's really good. And also the t-shirts this year are really cool. Every year they have a Palestinian artist design the t-shirt. Really looking forward to seeing what that looks like. So it's interesting because for me, like so many people, whether it's that you have a desk job and you just don't get a lot of steps, or if you're feeling like me where you're feeling pretty helpless right now, and sometimes you get stuck in a rut of not walking. Ironically, I'm walking for mental health resources for Palestine refugees, but in doing this, I'm also doing it for my mental health, being with you all on here, but also getting my steps, which is really nice because when you're at the Gaza 5K, like you're walking for mental health resources for other folks, but being in community and walking, it just does it for your body, It's good for you. It's nice to be talking to folks that are like-minded. I'm going to switch my charger from my laptop to my phone because it's about to die. Sorry if it's spinning things. 2%. You guys get a big hailstorm last night anywhere? We had a storm last night, but it said it was supposed to hail. But it didn't really get that much. Thought we'd get a lot more. Hey, Molly, are you still on? I don't know if you're in the DC area, Molly, but they're going to be having a Gaza 5K in Washington, DC on May 31st, but another one in Seattle on August 3rd, which is Sunday, and then having another one in New York on Sunday, October 12th. So you have 3 different opportunities. I don't know where you're at in the world, but if you go to Gaza5K.org, sign up there. Okay, we got 15 minutes left. 15 minutes. Good job, everyone. Whether you're walking with me or you're walking by yourself or watching on the toilet, watching this live stream is helping raise money, so I appreciate y'all. Really enjoyed the last 5 minutes of all these live streams. I'm gonna go to a bunch of organizations workshops and whatnot that I go to a bunch and see if they'll join my team. So if y'all didn't know, UNRWA USA is an organization that fundraises and raises awareness and advocates for Palestine refugees, but fundraises for UNRWA, which stands for the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees in the Near East. Long acronym, but essentially they're the largest humanitarian organization on the ground in Gaza, and UNRWA USA fundraises for UNRWA and raises awareness to Americans with different ways they can advocate for UNRWA and UNRWA USA, help fundraise on the ground here. And their whole slogan is really amazing. So it's showing Palestine refugees that Americans care. And as an American myself, I want to show Palestine refugees that I care as an American, which is why I'm doing this live stream every single night at 7 p.m. Eastern to help fundraise for Palestine refugees mental health services. All right, 15 more minutes. My mom said to me. All right. How are we doing? I feel like definitely when people were doing a lot of, so people were doing, it was like all the time classes. I don't know how people do this and not feel awkward. It just feels weird. I would love to see you all at the Gaza 5K in person in Washington, D.C. on May 31st. Looking forward to that. And maybe you can join me tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern to walk the 5K. Would love to see you. Hey, Maxwell. All right, we're almost wrapping up with our 3.1, or otherwise known as our 5K here tonight, raising funds for mental health services for Palestine refugees. And we'll be wrapping up at about 8:30. We are at 2.5, almost done with our 3.1. Maybe I'll pick it up 2.1 so make sure we get it on time. Definitely wearing a ponytail tomorrow. So for folks awareness that are on the call here or on the live stream, I'm going to be doing a 5K every single night on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, raising funds for mental health services for Palestine refugees, and also to prepare for the Gaza 5K on May 31st in Washington, D.C. So if you're like me and you need to get your steps in, or if you're looking to help raise awareness about Palestine refugees, join me in walking the 5K every single night on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram every single night at 7 p.m. Eastern. It takes about an hour and a half for me to slowly walk it. So just know I'm going to be live from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And if you're looking to just have a doubling buddy, if you've got ADHD like me, and you want to do your dishes every night at 7 p.m. Eastern, I'm your gal. Put me on the background, we can talk together. Just a great way to fundraise for Palestine refugees while getting our mental health steps in, but also fundraising for the mental health support and psychosocial support for Palestine refugees in Gaza. And you can go to Gaza5k.org to learn more. This is not my 5K. I'm not organizing this. I'm just participating. You can scan my QR code here to join my team, start your own team. There's going to be a Gaza 5K on May 31st in Washington, D.C., another one in Seattle on August 3rd, which is a Sunday. And then there's going to be another one in New York on October 12th, which is also a Sunday. So D.C., Seattle, New York, be there. If you can't be there, you can sign up virtually and maybe run a Gaza 5K in your local community. Start your own team and run it with your family, run it with your friends. Maybe you have a group of folks together in your community that you want to do your own mental health services support by getting a group together, just walking every night and doing a 5K to raise funds for Palestine refugees. However it looks, just know that every penny counts, every minute helps up your support, and every dollar makes a difference. So if you're joining me just to get some doubling in while you do your dishes, if you start a team with your Buy Nothing group on Facebook, whatever it may be, just know that I really appreciate you being out here and showing Palestine refugees that Americans here, or wherever you're watching from. This is the slogan of Under USA. It is showing Palestine refugees that Americans care. So I'm going to keep using that because I like it. I'm so used to doing live streams for news outlets. I used to work in news for a little over 5 years. So it always feels funny, like going live on the treadmill. It's not live for a rapid response video. It's a very chill conversation piece. And hopefully more people will join throughout the month. And even if it's a couple people that join and, like the post and help get funds that way, we end up sending it to your cousin who lives in Washington, D.C., and they start their own team and they sign up to take part in the Gaza 5K. Whatever it may be, once again, really appreciate you all being here. And I'll be here tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern. So be sure to check me out, check the live stream out, and get your steps up for Palestine. Hopefully by tomorrow I'll get it figured out where I can do TikTok and Instagram and YouTube all at the same time through the same camera, because right now I have it for my phone's TikTok and then a separate camera for Instagram and YouTube, which makes it tricky because I don't have enough screens to look at all the comments. Because it's Sunday. Not as many comments as the other days, but I will figure it out tomorrow. All right, 10 minutes. 10 minutes left. So this Gaza 5K, once again, it's not my 5K, it's not my event, I'm participating. But it's been hosted by UNRWA USA, it was created by UNRWA USA back in 2012. And they do about 3 Gaza 5Ks a year in very metropolitan areas like New York, Chicago, Seattle, LA, Vegas, maybe not Vegas, Washington, D.C. This year is going to take place in Washington, D.C., Seattle, and New York. Last year's New York Gaza 5K raised over $2.1 million for mental health and psychosocial support for Palestine refugees in Gaza. Absolutely incredible. And usually there's about 2,000 people that participate, and not all of them are running. I'm not running, I'm walking. I'm gonna walk the 5K, which is why I'm walking it right now with y'all. But it's so incredible to see so many people show up so early in the morning for a 5K because you don't want to run it while it's hot outside. Heaven knows it's very hot in Washington D.C. They call it the swamp for many reasons, but also it was built on a swamp, so it's very humid here. Very much appreciate that they're doing it earlier in the morning. I think it's like 7. But after the race is done, even if you're walking it, you walk pretty slow like I do. There's music, there's debka, which is dancing, Palestinian dance. There's Palestinian dishes and food, an award ceremony. I think everyone gets an award. But the men outside here are going to look really cool this year. Looking forward to that. Yeah, so May 31st in Washington, D.C., August 3rd, which is a Sunday in Seattle, and then in New York on October 12th, which is also a Sunday. So you can go to Gaza 5K Hour to sign up for these 3 amazing events, all to be community and help raise funds and awareness for mental health services and psychosocial support Palestine refugees in Gaza. And when you fundraise, you get different incentives and perks. So when you fundraise $100, you get the Gaza 5K t-shirt. If you fundraise $250, you get the Unreal USA tote bag and the Gaza 5K t-shirt. And when you raise $500 or more, you get the Gaza 5K sweater, Unreal USA tote bag, and the Gaza 5K t-shirt. And the levels go up from there. So there is amazing perks that incentivize you to keep fundraising going. Point 3 left. Point 3. Whew. The first Gaza 5K that they did back in UNRWA USA did back in 2012, there was a marathon run that was happening in Palestine, and the executive director at the time of UNRWA USA stateside heard about the marathon and that it was raising funds for Palestine refugees. Excuse me. And so she thought, what a great idea, with people's feet on the ground for Palestine. So she created the Gaza 5K, and it's been continuing ever since. And the 5K, even though it started in 2012, it continues to this day. And there's usually about 3 Gaza 5Ks a year. Last year it was Dallas, DC, New York, I believe, and this year it's going to be DC, Seattle, New York. They've done it in other cities. If you go to Gaza5K.org, you can look at all the photos they have from different cities. They've done it in Texas, in California, Minnesota maybe, or Michigan, New York, and DC. I know I'm missing probably some others, but they also did it virtually during COVID-19. They started doing virtual Gaza 5Ks. And they didn't stop; they just continued, and that was just so powerful to see. And they made it, really accessible, and they continue to be able to allow, like, under USA as a virtual option. So if you're not in DC, if you're not in Seattle, if you're not in New York, you can always sign up to do a virtual 5K in your area with your family, with your friends, with your Girl Scout troop, what have you, and raise funds for Palestine refugees through walking their 5K. So once again, my name's Alex, and I'm looking to raise $30,000 in 30 days for Palestine refugees by doing this live stream every single night leading up to the Gaza 5K in Washington, D.C. on May 31st. So I'm going to be going live every single night leading up to the May 31st event at 7 p.m. Eastern to about 8:30 p.m. Eastern, whether we raise $1 in the next month or $30,000. Just know that every penny, every dollar counts. All the funds go to support mental health services for Palestine refugees in Gaza through UNRWA USA's Gaza 5K. So I'm doing it, one, to prepare myself so I can be able to walk a 5K, but also to keep myself accountable, to bring people together. And I figured since I'm already going to be walking a 5K every night, might as well go live and see if we can have folks come in community with one another, educate folks that this event is happening on May 31st in Washington, D.C., and help raise funds while doing it. So I appreciate you all so much. We got about 5 minutes left. That went way fast today, so I appreciate y'all joining me for this walk. Every single day, it's about, run more. I used to run a lot, then I got the depression. But this is my way of getting back on the horse, is walking the 5K every single day. And I've been doing it in the morning as well. So getting back on that horse is really important. But appreciate y'all being here. Appreciate it. Is anyone in the Washington, D.C., Seattle, or New York area in the chat? Mind you that I'm walking. Seattle. Oh, you're in Seattle? Nice. So the next Gaza 5K after the DC one on May 31st is in Seattle. So you should sign up for the Gaza 5K. It's going to be on August 3rd, which is a Sunday. The registration for that is going to be opening soon. So go check it out. It's going to be in Seattle. Oh, that's crazy. You just said Seattle. Yeah, I think early bird registration opens right after, because usually when they finish one Gaza 5K, they open up registration for the next one. And if you do early bird registration, you save like $10, I think. I forget how much it is offhand, like $35, I think. Yeah, so Seattle, August 3rd, put in your calendar. Would love to see you there. All right, we got 3 minutes left. Maybe I'll walk for a little bit more because I'm at 2.8. You can get to 3.1. You feel it now. Yeah, wait, you did? You did the virtual one? Wow, you're the first person in the chat that has been to one. Was that during COVID, or did you just do a virtual option? Oh, Trinidad, wow. I don't think I've met anyone so far that has done the virtual option on a live. Did you do it with any friends, or did you do it kind of by yourself virtually? All right, we're almost at the 3.1 mark here. I'm at 2.91. So just know that if you want to join me tomorrow, I'm going to be live every single night leading up to the Washington, D.C. Gaza 5K on May 31st. So every night of the month of May, I'm going to be going live at 7 p.m. Eastern to roughly 8:30 p.m. Eastern. That's how long usually it takes me to walk it pretty casually. So if you want to put me on the background while you do your dishes, or you want to crochet something and you want a buddy to be with you, just know I'm going to be live every single night at 7 p.m. Eastern. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm trying to get my brother to join me as well. I got two brothers who live in different states, so we'll see. We'll see if they come on down for it. I'm in Washington, D.C., so I'm going to the D.C. one. And if you scan this QR code, you can join my team. So if you're in the Washington, D.C. area and you're looking to join a Gaza 5K, or if you're just looking to support and donate, you can scan the QR code right here and join my team, start your own team, or just donate. Whatever fits is your feast. All right. 0.5. All right, we hit the 8:30 mark, but I have a little bit left to go, so I'm going to continue for a little bit more so I can finish my own 3.1. But once again, I'll be here tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern if you want to join. Oh, nice. There's going to be one in DC on May 31st. There's going to be the next one after that is in Seattle, August 3rd, which is a Sunday. And then the one after that is in New York on October 12th, which is also a Sunday if you want to sign up for either of those. Usually the registration for the next Gaza 5K comes in once the other one is done. So once DC's Gaza 5K is done, I'm sure that the Seattle registration, early bird registration will open up real soon. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that, peanut butter. Peanut butter. You're not peanut butter. You're peanut. Appreciate that. So I figured I would be doing a Gaza 5K walk in preparation for my own mental and physical needs to be doing that, and figured why not do a live stream to help raise funds while doing that. Plus, the like if you've done a 5K before any kind of 5K, they do like teams or individual fundraising teams. So this is my team. You can join my team. Join and be in person at the Gaza 5K or just donate whatever you're able to do. I just appreciate the fact that anyone even doing the live stream. I was planning on doing this by myself, so appreciate y'all hanging out here today. And we're almost at 3.1. We got about 0.07 left. And if you want to learn more information, you can go to gaza5k.org, not spelled out 5, but the number 5, gaza5k.org. Can someone put that in the chat for me, gaza5k.org, so that folks know? I don't have, you're so far away, I can't type it. So my goal is to raise $30,000 in 30 days, whether it's through this live stream or contacting a bunch of businesses in the area to support Palestine refugees through this kind of 5K. I donated, I think, $100, and I think we got it up to $323. But at the end of the day, this is the first time I've done anything like this before. Every dollar counts, every penny counts, every like, every follow, every share of this live stream. So I appreciate you all so much. We are at almost 3.1, but I just want to say I appreciate all the people that stayed on. Oh, thanks, H. Appreciate that. So you can go to gaza5k.org. H put in the chat here on TikTok. I'll be sure to do some cut-downs of the live stream for folks, and you can follow me on Jello's Hello on all platforms. I don't really go on Instagram, but I'm streaming there because I want to make sure that if there's, even if there's one person who's watching on any platform, that's one person that's watching. That person could join in and start their own fundraiser and sign up. All right, we just finished. For TikTok folks, I'll show you the proof. Show you the Carfax, if you will. All right, well, I'm having trouble, but here we go. We did it. Sweaty, but I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace out. All right. Let's end it on YouTube.